We're not done with our Bronze Dragon releases. Today, we're diving into two new powerful additions to the family, the Bronze Dragon speaker cable and the Bronze Dragon power cable. What's up, audio enthusiasts? Welcome back to another episode. I'm here with Moon Audio's CEO and founder, Drew Baird PE, and we've got some exciting news to share with you about our latest cable innovations.
Absolutely. We're thrilled to introduce these new members of our Dragon cable family, the Bronze Dragon speaker cable and Bronze Dragon power cable.
If you're excited about these new Bronze Dragon additions, show some love with a like and hit that subscribe button so you never miss our latest content. Now, this video focuses specifically on our Bronze Dragon speaker cable and power cable, but if you want to learn more about the Bronze Dragon headphone cable that we released earlier, make sure to check out the video linked in the description below. We've also got two more Bronze Dragon cables coming out soon, the Bronze Dragon phono cable and the Bronze Dragon portable mini cable, so we'll touch later on that in the video. Let's jump into 4 key things you should know about these new Bronze Dragon cable additions. Following the success of our Bronze Dragon headphone cable, these speaker and power cables mark the expansion of graphene technology throughout the Bronze Dragon line. Graphene brings exceptional performance characteristics that set these cables apart from anything else in our collection. Drew, walk us through why graphene makes such a difference in these power and speaker cable applications.
Well, graphene is a superconductor and it improves the electrical conductivity of the cables themselves. We're trying to essentially get the signal with no barriers as fast, quickly, and powerful as possible to the devices that they're being used on. Speaker cables and interconnects, for that matter, are truly the most important cables in the entire chain. These cables are essentially delivering the last few steps of signal to your speakers, and these are extremely important. And so graphene has really helped to produce a more analytical, detailed, but musical sweet spot for your speakers. And let me go through the order of importance of cables. I always say that the interconnects and the speaker cables are the most important. Then we get to digital, then we get to power. So while these are last on the list, they are still incredibly important because these are essentially, if we will, the air filter or the gas for the engine in the amplifier. And maintaining a very clean, powerful, and protected signal of AC power to your amplifier is extremely important. You know, I always recommend power conditioners, and at this point, after a power conditioner, it's very important to go to a much better cable than stock cables. I'm okay with the cable going from the power conditioner to the wall. I'd like to upgrade this as well, but the most important part of the power signal transmission is after a power conditioner to your equipment to make sure that nothing happens between those 2 points. Our houses are full of EMI, all kinds of interference, cables crisscrossing, and that interference can inject very easily into power cables. So making sure that you've got a well-designed, double shielded, which we do with these power cables to ward off any outside interference and make sure that that last few feet of miles of signal, in this case AC power, to your amplifier is clean and does not have any interference. Again, speaker cables are very important to get that last couple of feet of signal to your speakers, very critical. Again, very critical to make sure that your power transmission of AC to your amplifier is as clean as it can be.
Every Dragon cable series we create delivers its own special sonic fingerprint, and the Bronze Dragon line has something truly unique to offer. Drew, break down the audio characteristics of these Bronze Dragon speaker and power cables for us.
So my approach was twofold. First of all, I wanted to make sure that I could create a copper cable that was to a higher elevation in terms of performance than our Black Dragon. Then what I wanted to try and do is try and pull out some of the detail and air and presence that the Silver Dragon cables have. And essentially, graphene was the answer. Essentially, I got the musicality from the copper, I got the detail and air and sense of space from the graphene. So now we've got the perfect iteration of a cable that sits between the Silver Dragon and the Black Dragon.
This is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to graphene technology. For more information on graphene, check out our Bronze Dragon headphone cable video linked in the description below, and head to our website at moon-audio.com. Check out any of our Bronze Dragon cable pages for more information. At Moon Audio, we take immense pride in the exceptional build quality that goes into every Dragon cable that we manufacture. Every single cable is carefully handcrafted with premium materials, and it goes through extensive quality control testing before reaching your system. These Bronze Dragon speaker and power cables represent the pinnacle of our craftsmanship standards. Drew, share with us the engineering behind these cables, what materials you chose, and what the construction looks like.
So we continued with UP-OCC copper. We obviously have the graphene that is melted on top of the wire. We're using a whole host of different connectors to do things like it. Let's talk about the speaker cable first. We're using Furatech and Cardus connectors, Furatech bananas, Cardus spades. These are the connectors that I have found that I love and have used for many years and just exude performance, quality, and craftsmanship. We're now able to do an internal by-wire configuration with our Bronze Dragon speaker cable. You can do either a standard or a by-wire. By-wire means that on your speaker side, you're actually going to have 4 connectors. When to use by-wire really comes down to the design of the crossover in the speaker. We can also even do bi-amp, by-wire. Bi-amping means that you use more than one channel for your speaker. So essentially you can do 2 stereo amps, use 1 stereo 2-channel amp for your right speaker, 1 2-channel stereo amplifier for your left speaker, and we can do 4 bananas or spades on the amplifier side as well. This providing more power to each one of the drivers. Each one of these times when you add more amplification and divide out the signal path of where it's going, tweeter, mid-range, sub-bass, subwoofers, whatever, you're improving performance. So we have the ability with the speaker cable to do a whole host of configurations, all with internally to the jacket of the cable. With the power cable, we offer all kinds of different terminations, whether you've got 15 or 20 amp. I'd say 99% of the equipment out there is 15 amp, but some of the bigger power amps, power conditioners, use a 20 amp configuration. Make sure to check out the web page for understanding the difference between the slots on the female IEC for 15 versus 20 and which you might have. We made it easy there so you can see a graphic representation of which one you need, and you can look at the back of your component to decide. But most products out there are 15 amp except for the really big power-hungry devices. We've designed this cable to be used not just for power conditioners, but for your CD players. Graphene makes the cables more flexible, so this is a little more flexible than the Blue Dragon power cable. It's not as flexible as the Black Dragon power cable. That was one of the unique designs of that Black Dragon. We wanted to make something that was super flexible. For this design, it just required, based on the way I wanted to do the shielding, that we go to a polyethylene jacket, and so it's a little bit stiffer than the Black Dragon, but it's still more flexible than the Blue Dragon. It's easy to meander through the back of your components, and one thing I'd always recommend doing with power cables is always make sure that your power cable runs at a 90-degree angle with your other cables, like your speaker cables, your interconnects. When you do it at a 90-degree angle, there won't be any influence from the electrical field from this power cable on your other cables. Never run cables parallel to each other, more so really with power over other cables. You can run parallel with speaker and interconnects. Interconnects are shielded, they're low voltage, and you may not have a problem, but with power cables, because of the high voltage, it's never a good idea to run parallel, so always run at a 90-degree angle. We've got the Furatech angled bananas or the straight bananas, depending on your situation. You know, these angled ones will work really nicely behind audio equipment racks where you want to shoot the cable straight down. You may not have a lot of room between the wall and the speaker, in the cabinet. We can do, a combination of angled bananas on the amplifier and straight on the speaker, depending on the ergonomics of the situation. So lots of customizations. If you don't see something on the webpage, reach out to us. We can always make these splits for the by-wire and standard a lot longer if you need to split between devices. So everything's customizable. We build everything in a couple of days and ship it to you really quickly. So whatever your system demands, we can likely build the perfect cable configuration for you and your system.
Custom cable solutions are at the heart of what we do at Moon Audio, and like Drew mentioned, we can accommodate virtually any system requirement you might have. Whether it's the turntable in your home theater or the small external DAC at your desktop system, our Bronze Dragon phono cable and portable mini cable are 2 additional solutions for your audio setup.
So hot off the production line, we have the two new phono cables that we're about to introduce on the website. So we have two configurations here. We've got RCA to RCA for our Techniques turntables that don't offer a DIN connection. And then obviously for most other turntables that need a DIN connection, we're offering a DIN to RCA cable. Like the power cable, noise is a very important problem to ward off with phono cables. The opposite of power cables, the voltage in a phono cable is extremely low. You've got a moving magnet cartridge, you've got a moving coil. Moving coil require a very low level of voltage coming from your cartridge to your phono preamp. So we've got to make sure that we keep the integrity of the signal as pure as possible. We do this by two ways. Incredible shielding, again, just like our power cable. We've got dual layers of configuration with a aluminum mylar foil as well as 100% braided shield. And with the addition of graphene, we've reduced resistance and capacitance, which is very important for your cartridges. Then we've also got our portable mini cable. This is a cable that we use to go between two portable devices like your Astel and Kern player. Let's say that you like the Astel and Kern player DAC, but you need a little more power, and so you add an IFI Valkyrie DAC amplifier to it that has analog inputs. So to connect your Astel and Kern DAP to the IFI Valkyrie, we're going to use the 4.4 termination that you see here on the cable, and we're going to go to 4.4 termination input on the Valkyrie. Now we can do a whole host of connectors on these portable mini cables, and these are to connect portable mini devices to your home stereo, to your car stereo, all kinds of different configurations. So we've got 3.5 to RCA, 3.5 to maybe a 4.4 but in single-ended mode, a 4.4 to dual XLRs, all kinds of terminations and configurations for linking your portable device to your other devices or home audio products in your house.
There you have it, everything you need to know about our exciting new Bronze Dragon speaker and power cables. These represent the next evolution in our Bronze Dragon series, bringing graphene technology to your entire audio chain. Head over to moon-audio.com to configure your perfect Bronze Dragon cables with the exact terminations and lengths that work for your system. And don't forget to explore our complete Dragon cable collection while you're there. Keep your eyes out for the release of our new Bronze Dragon phono cable and portable mini cable coming to the website soon.
Premium audio systems deserve premium cables, so why not give your gear the upgrade it deserves?
Remember, give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful, and if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? We're your go-to source for everything high-end audio, so hit that notification bell and we'll catch you in the next video.
Thanks for watching.